Hey everyone, Coach Dave here with Harbor Park CrossFit. I'm here today to talk to you about the elusive double unders. So, a lot of people have been asking me what they can do to increase their double unders or be more consistent. So I'm going to give you a few tips that you can quickly implement that hopefully will help you either get your first, your second, or string multiples together, okay? First thing you have to understand though is double unders is a skill and it's something you have to practice. So generally what I say is when you start to learn these new skills and you start implementing them, spend about 5 minutes per day. Don't go any more and don't go any less, okay? So set a timer. Once you hit your 5 minutes, you're done, regardless of if you've gotten the double unders or not, because it can get kind of aggravating when you're first learning them. And we want to make sure that you're not getting too stressed out with it, that you spend too much time on it, that you become angry and frustrated, and then it just kind of defeats the purpose. So we're going to talk about the setup. And when we talk about double unders, it's going to be a little bit different from single unders. So if you haven't been doing them regularly, the first thing we want to talk about is that the spin comes from the wrist. A lot of times we see that elbow kind of pivoting from the elbow and we're using the whole arm, okay? So one thing that I like to teach people is you use your handles and you're just going to spin the handles next to you and try to work on spinning that with just your wrist, okay? So once you have that down and you can become consistent with moving and twirling with that, then we're going to talk about hand placement. And when we have hand placement, I want you to think about having a big belt buckle on the front of your hips, okay? That big belt buckle has a line that goes out to your sides, imaginary line, and your hands should be in line with that line. So when I pin those elbows to my side, the hands with the handles are going to be in line with that big belt buckle, okay? Your gaze should be out in front of you. Kind of pick a spot on the wall, almost like you're back squatting. When we talk about lifting, you look at something and you gaze at it and you should stare at that. As I'm staring at that, I should be able to see my hands out of the peripheral vision. If my hands kind of start to trail away as I'm double undering, they're going behind me, which also shortens my rope, causes the rope to land in a little different spot every time as they go behind me. So then I need to adjust my hands and make sure that I get them back in my visual. We also want to make sure that the hands don't go above that line, because as you can see, as I go higher, when I raise my hands, my rope also gets shorter. Okay, so keeping it in line with that the whole time. So we're going to talk real quick about singles. I want you to focus on my jump when I go from singles into dumbbells. Okay, so don't worry about the rope so much. I just want you to focus on my jumps here. So we're going to start with singles. So if you can see there in the jumping, my jump timing changed a little bit from the single to the double. And what I tell people when we're working towards it, when we're first learning double unders, it's actually you want to slow your jump down and your rope spins faster. I think in the beginning we think that we want to get doubles, so we want to spin the rope faster and we also want to jump faster. It's actually not the case. So you want to slow it down so you can get your timing down. Okay, so one thing that we're going to do is we're going to have you start with singles. You want to jump higher, but slow that jump down. Okay, you can see now that I'm significantly slower in the single. Now when I go to doubles, the jump doesn't change, the timing of it doesn't, but the rope spins a little faster. If you can see that, when I went to the double, my timing in the jump was the same. I'll show it to you again. Okay, so if you were watching my feet, not really paying attention to the rope speed, if you noticed the jump, I wanted to slow the singles down so that I can get my timing with my hands down and the spin of the rope. That's important. So one thing I tell people is slow your jump down in the singles so you can get into your timing down into your doubles. Okay, so slowing it down is important. Another thing that's really helpful for people is kind of counting out loud to yourself. It's like if you were, when you learn piano or a musical instrument, your teacher had you counting out loud in the beginning to get your cadence down, get your timing down. That's something you can use in double unders too. And you want to either think of 1, 2, or you can say jump, spin, okay? Whatever works for you. So we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or jump rope, jump rope, jump rope. So it helps you with your timing. Saying it to yourself can also help you, like I said, get that timing down in the cadence, and you can slowly start to just say it in your head. All right guys, this has been another movement tip video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. If you guys have questions, feel free to reach out. Talk to you later.